The telephone rang and it was one of her best friends saying that Alexis had collapsed.
I was feeling really fatigued and tired and loss of appetite, and I was losing weight rapidly.
As time went by, my energy started leaving me.
Anyway, I come up the hill, I take 4 or 5 steps, and I couldn't breathe real good.
She was very thirsty all the time, and she was having some back pain, and she was very tired.
Basically, I just had no energy at all.
It took away his strength to do certain things like he was used to doing, cooking, going outside, going for walks.
I've been diabetic since I was 6, so this was something that I kind of expected was going to happen to me someday, but always hoped wouldn't.
When Sean was 1 day old, the doctors told us that they had found an irregularity with his kidneys, and basically told us he probably only had 2 or 3 days to live.
And he told me, he said, I'm going to put you on dialysis. He said, because your kidneys are shut down.
My heart just dropped.
It was very shocking.
I was active in the community and in my church. So active that I couldn't believe this was happening to me.
I was told that Alexis had 15% kidney function left.
It's just a huge barrier in your life, really.
Well, your kidneys eliminate all the waste that your body makes. If your kidneys don't work, the toxins build up in your body, and your body can die just from the toxins that are in it.
Well, dialysis was absolutely necessary. He could not have lived without it.
It could either be hemodialysis,
where they stick very, very large needles into your arm, and they filter all the toxins out of your blood through the machine.
It's nothing to look forward to. It's not a cure.
The first day I took dialysis, I came home, I was a wreck.
Well, in order to be on hemodialysis, you have to have an access that they can stick those needles into. They can't just come in and stick a needle in your arm like you would if you were having a blood draw or donating blood. They need to get a bigger access, something that will create a higher blood flow so that more of your blood can be cleaned when you're having your dialysis treatment.
I was drained when I left home, and I was drained when I got off of dialysis, because sometime I would be on the machine, I start cramping all up.
You're just sitting perfectly still in a chair for 3 hours, and all of a sudden your feet will start cramping, and there's nothing you can do about it because you can't get out of the chair. So normally the nurse has to come over and try to force your cramp out of your feet or your calves. When you start filling up with fluids again, you start getting tired because your heart's beating harder, and there's nothing you can do. You just wait for the next day to look forward to cramping up again, almost passing out, getting lightheaded, and then you have a half a day to enjoy yourself, and then everything starts all over again in a wicked cycle.
The dialysis was rough for him, and when I reflect back on those days, I'm glad they're behind him, because I've seen how it just took the life out of him. It looked like he was literally a zombie.
It was beating me down.
Your spirit is knocked down when you're on hemodialysis.
I get up at 20 after 4 in the morning so that I can be here to start my dialysis at 5:30 in the morning. I don't have the option if I get up in the morning and I don't want to come to dialysis. I can't say, well, I think I'll just call them today and tell them I'm not coming over. It's not like that.
Or it could be peritoneal dialysis,
where they instill a fluid into your abdomen through a tube.
We would do that every night at home. We actually had to put him back in a crib so that he wouldn't get up and wander around. And he was hooked up to a machine that basically pumped fluids in and out of his abdomen all night long to remove the toxins from his blood. What do you tell a 2-year-old?
Your peritoneal cavity has no way to fight an infection. There's nothing in there, so you get one little bit of infection in there and it could potentially kill you.
Just the type of existence, I can't imagine. I mean, it would limit what you would normally do. It's a huge quality of life issue.
Dialysis takes out a lot of waste. It takes out most of the waste from your body, which is a very good thing, but it also takes out nutrients, protein, and taking that out makes your muscles get atrophied.
It also inhibited travel. We weren't able to travel as much because the machinery was so big and you needed cleanliness.
You don't have a normal life. You can't have a normal life with dialysis because, again, you're confined to being wherever that machine is.
We knew that transplant was the only viable end option. Dialysis is not the solution. It is something to sustain you until you can receive a transplant.
And to get to the point where you don't want to be bothered with nobody. People, you're thinking all the time that people get tired of you because they got other things to do too. But, you know, and I felt really sorry for my wife a lot.
8 o'clock at night, when you have a daughter who's 10, you want to be out there doing things with, and you can't because you have to be hooked up to the machine.